Hello,
Hi.
Dan and Deanna here. We are here to do a video. We've been just wanting to share more about our life and our journey, and we want to share about something of the past few years about healing another degree of false twin flame or just separation consciousness in our union.
Yeah, we want to be a little more open about what's been going on in our relationship and how even though we've been navigating pretty really deep stuff, um, we've been married for almost 2 years.
Yeah, going on 2 years now. And basically, I mean, everyone's the part of this story is to illustrate how everyone's twin flame journey is like extremely unique. And the how to spoiler alert, moral is just never give up. And so we'll kind of describe our story of how we just kept going on the journey. And so, do you want to start? Um,
I don't know where to start.
I'm just
That's the
thinking. So
problem.
basically, to give a brief background to this, Deanna and I discovered that we were twin flames as members of Twin Flame Ascension School, and our relationship accelerated very rapidly. Coming into harmonious union, experiencing coming out, and but staying together through all of that. Um, Being in the community, being out of the community for many years now, but still holding fast to the teachings of union and um, watching the teachings of union, you know, transform our lives in many ways. But then, to be honest, we went through an experience of, despite all of these powerful experiences we had being together, we had deeper layers of illusion to clear. And Dan and I can probably offer very different, like what that experience was like for us. I can give you my side if you want to start with that, or do you want to start with? I mean, you were kind of the impetus came through you. If you so that's also you could start sharing what was going on with you first.
The main thing I want to convey in this video, my thesis statement for the video, is what an amazing partner Dan Thalen is.
Oh.
I've never been with anyone romantically this long. It's 6.5 years now. We've been married almost 2 years. I've never been loved this unconditionally, this deeply, for this long, and this intimately, without, he never withdraws his love from me, ever, at any point. And we kind of are ready to kind of tell some of the more, I guess, controversial parts of our relationship.
The human stuff.
We've healed through things that are like, some people don't heal through these things and they break up. And it's also just a testament to the deep love we have for each other. There's such a deep love here. And I think, yeah, I'm kind of in a place where, I'm in a state of shock almost because I keep expecting Dan to stop loving me. I keep expecting, oh, I did one more crazy thing. There goes Dan, right? Nope. And so it's really, I'm really grateful to God because I've never experienced anything like this before.
Well, I appreciate that, and I can tell you that what we share, while it's truly beautiful, it's this is what everyone has, someone that loves them this much, and that's the beauty. And what I can attest to,
Everyone wants that, but everyone also has it
yes,
already.
but at the same time, it is a journey to be able to claim it and to live in it. And what I can say for myself, what has enabled me to be what Deanna has said is two things. It's the teachings of union, of course, knowing the teachings and knowing how to do the healing work, how to see the truth, no matter what she's presenting about our oneness, um, and just to know the truth. But then also, honestly, and this is something that Deanna has called me out a lot, or called forth for me a lot, is like, are you just doing this because someone told you? And there's another side of this
Wait, what do
that's,
you mean?
well, you like, you've also often said, are you just with me because someone told you to be with me?
Yes, very frequently. I have asked Dan in recent years, especially right when I was coming up to approaching our marriage. I was like, are you just with me because you have to be like out of obligation, or are you with me because you love me? And
Yeah, and that's the other side that I wanted to share. It's not just, someone taught me some things and I just stuck to it because I wanted to. There's been a extremely deep level of experience that, um, basically what I mean to say with that is every time I'm taught something through the teachings of union, it pans through like perfectly, like through my experience. Like that's not like it perfectly matches my experience of life. And to be quite honest, one of the biggest drivers for me in being able to withstand the ups and the downs is, um, for one thing, my experience of oneness with Deanna is so profound, and the experience of coming into harmonious union. Actually, I made a promise to myself when that
so
happened.
Dan and I were brought into harmonious union in January of 2020.
Mhm.
The very same evening, this was January 15th, right?
Yes.
January 15th, 2020, the same evening, um, we so Jeff reached out to me via Facebook Messenger, and I won't go. I have to write my autobiography anyway. So I'll just okay.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
just whatever you feel inspired to
I
share.
know,
It's
but
all good.
I want to focus this video on this.
Yeah.
Okay. So we came into harmonious union the same night after the afternoon that we talked. Um, just real quick, Jeff reached out to me. I had released my false twin flame. I kind of came to the conclusion it was a false twin flame, released him. And almost in that same second or instant, Jeff reached out and pointed me towards Dan. I reached out, um, with support from my soul sister who was living with me at the time, and my mom. My mom was at home, but I was living with my soul sister and my mom, and it was just me and my soul sister at home at the time when it happened. And so, um, yeah, I reached out to Dan, and um, I told him that Jeff had invited me to reach out to you. And Dan's immediate response was, "This makes me so happy." Like he was right there when I reached out energetically, almost like he was waiting.
I was ready. God had been preparing me, and I'd been preparing myself.
You said the other night we were talking to a friend that God had him go see the movie Little Women in
Yes,
theaters right before he moved in with me and my mom and my soul
to help
sister.
prepare for that experience. Yes.
But so then in the Wednesday 7 p.m. discussion group, that was happening that night, Jeff was like Dan joined that group chat or that video chat, and Jeff messaged me like, "What are you waiting for? Claim your harmonious union." So I did it right in front of everybody, and then he moved to Wisconsin like a week later.
We came in a harmonious union at that moment, and I will say, so I feel like honestly this isn't talked about enough.
And it was visceral. The energy that shot through our chakras, it was real. It was like you can't fake that. That was an extremely visceral experience. Both of us had energy pouring through our chakras. We couldn't sleep that night. Like I remember reaching out to you at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I was like, I can't sleep, and you're like, I can't either because we both couldn't sleep that night, and we talked to each other then because we both had this powerful energy surging through our chakra systems. I won't go too much into depth in this because that's not the focus of this video. But then Dan moved to Wisconsin like a week later. I signed us up for spiritual boot camp. We fell out of harmonious union in like
But before you get into that,
August
what I wanted to explain regarding that
of
is
2020.
that is a big reason why I've amongst many other things, I've stayed so true, been able to stay so true, is because that experience.
It was visceral, it was physical, it was emotional,
Well,
it was
it was a
spiritual,
spontaneous healing. I've never experienced myself so happy and so alive
it
and
was
so
real.
powerful.
It was real.
And it was something it was a very real experience. And I remember my oneness with Deanna felt so profound that I remember thinking, if anyone told me to separate from her, it would feel the same as if they're like, why don't you just chop off your arm? That was literally how it felt. And I was like, that's insane.
It was a
It
gift
felt
given
that.
to us by God through Jeff and Shalia.
Correct.
And I am so grateful for it because I've now become a fierce protector of that energy. And I want to be back in that energy and teach it to other people. What it felt like, I felt the same way. I was like, I need to protect you. I need to protect this. I need to protect us at all costs. And
Yeah.
that's how Dan felt too.
It truly the full meaning of revelation, where you just like your whole reality and understanding of it changes in a moment. Like since then, well, I mean, just to be honest, separation doesn't make any sense. It's just like how like it's well, because it doesn't. It's an illusion. But when you experience that level of which everyone has this, so I wanted to really emphasize that this is just the truth of things. But it is a revelation and it is an awakening. And when I experienced it, that just changed everything. That's all I can, like, it changed my perception of reality.
And it was the energy of harmonious union comes with a protective force field around it where you will discipline and set boundaries automatically if something's fucking with your relationship. And it's a knee-jerk response.
If you stay in touch with that energy. So a lot of
And
people, yes.
we've had many experiences of being fully in that, and then we dip in and out of that. But we've been together ever since. We did fall out of harmonious union towards the end of spiritual boot camp, kind of I think around August of 2020. September, don't quote me on that. But we've been together ever since, and we understand harmonious union. We understand how to build a life around.
Well, we've been together ever since. We definitely had a little period of apartments.
And that's what we're going to talk about a little
Yeah.
bit. Um, um, but we understand what it means to build your life around your HTFU or your union, and to make sure that's at the center and that everything supports that. But so after boot camp, Dan and I just kind of focused on our foundation, our healing, watching classes, doing spiritual work together, transcending jobs and towns, and traveling, enjoying our life. And but do you want to start telling like what happened in 2023 or 2022?
Well, I mean, to be honest, so both of our talents, I feel like it's going to be very unique. But another main theme I want to communicate as we're sharing this is it really communicates how, if you understand the teaching, your twin flame is always loving you. So I want to preface with that. I was able to apply that in the moment to the best of my ability, and of course, looking back. What I mean is, so, Deanna started having a very intense false twin flame experience.
And this started in the fall of 2022. Do you want me to tell? Do you want me to share? I'm not going to name names. I'm not
We don't
going
have to go into too many details
I
about
basically,
it.
in the fall of 2022, I took Dan to the park. We're living at Devil's Lake, and I was like, listen, I had to break up with you because this other person's my twin flame. I have to go. Bye. And Dan was just like, what? Like, what are you talking about?
But to be honest, this is where, to me, when looking back, I remember I had so much faith in Deanna and her ability to channel. I wasn't like closed off to it, even though I was like, that would, if I really checked in with my experience, this is why you don't really want to forget powerful spiritual experiences you had. Because if I had fully checked in with my spiritual experience of coming into harmonious union, I wouldn't have like eaten that Shiite for a minute. But at that time, I was just like, I want to be open to what Deanna's saying, and she seems to be saying it powerfully. And so that was my end of things. I actually bought into it to a certain degree, but I had to, of course, deny my entire experience to do so. And that's that's the trickiness of ego. Of course, it tries to give you these ideas that take you away from your truth.
But so I kind of let that go and I kind of gave the whole situation to God. But then in August of 2023, I won't share the specific details, but I felt like I had received my final sign that someone else was my twin flame. And I shot out of Dan's life with the full force of God, believing I was pursuing God's will. I quit my job, moved in with my mom, got rid of our cats, got rid of half of our stuff. I blocked Dan. I told him to leave the state and never talk to me again. And this whole time, I thought I was following God. I was like, I'm going to go all in with what God's telling me. And it turns out that that was actually Satan leading me astray. Ego tricked me into completely um, tearing my foundation apart and leaving my support system and going in a direction I was never meant to go in. And I got extremely ill. I got Alzheimer's symptoms. I won't even go into all the details because it's not my book that I'm writing yet. That's where all the details will be. Um, but Dan did not abandon me, and he actually moved closer to me. He got an apartment closer to me. He was there for me when I needed it. Like when I would call him crying and stressed out, he always answered. I almost fainted at work due to stress and Alzheimer's symptoms. They had to send me home, and Dan had to leave work early and come get me. Dan started writing me physical love letters in the mail, just loving me and sharing his love for me. He literally mailed them to my mom's house where I was living at the time. And sure enough, after 3 months of that terrible contrast, God was like, "Yep, you need to be with Dan. It's time to go back because you're dying here. You're not okay, and you need to go where you're loved." And you actually, do you mind me sharing this? Dan actually talked to my mom
Yeah, of course, yeah.
and helped her see that my mom wasn't loving me by letting me live with her because I needed to be, that's kind of my safe escape, is going to live with my mom. But it doesn't, at this point in my life, that doesn't serve me because I need to be on my,
Yeah.
not on my own, but with, I need to be an adult with Dan.
And you were just dying in the house.
I was,
quite literally.
it was not appropriate. I took all this wrong action, fully sure that it was God telling me to do this. And so
yeah. So I share my end of that. So
yeah.
basically, and what I want to bring up is Napoleon Hill says something that has always stuck with me, and I'm sure Jeffrey's they have their version of this too. But basically, he talks about how in every failure there's an opportunity, keyword opportunity, for an even greater gain. And I've always understood. Like when I heard that, I was like, I'm always going to apply that. So when this happened, I was like, well, pretty much, you could say the worst thing that could happen happened. Deanna just completely moved out,
And
took half our money. We didn't have much to begin with.
I also want to say that ego tricked me because ego was pushing on me to move out and make all these changes and destroy my foundation. And ego was pushing, destroy your life, destroy your life, destroy your life, dismantle your foundation.
Many people have encountered this, by the way. It's not just Deanna. This is a very actually common thing.
And actually, when I look back at that time, I had asked God, is this the right thing for me to do? And then I was driving in the car before I made this decision. And if you know, like Delilah on the car radio, like her radio show, Delilah, God spoke through her and was talking to this person about not moving back to your hometown because there are experiences that you're supposed to be having and people you're supposed to be meeting where that are not in your hometown, basically. And to not do that, but I ignored Delilah.
Or
I
God through
I
Delilah, really.
ignored God through Delilah, and I listened to this massive. I felt like really pushed energetically to
Which
make
you,
that
yes.
choice. And looking back, I'm still recovering from that traumatic time. I'm still recovering from it, from that choice that I made. But the beautiful thing is that God through Dan was there to catch me. He literally loved, and he didn't just do the mirror exercise and watch classes. He was actively loving me. Like I said, he moved closer to me when I was calling him for support. He always answered. He came and got me when I almost passed out at work. He talked to my mom, sent me love letters, like all these things. And that was God through him loving me and saying, you weren't supposed to go in that direction, but I'm going to love you back out of that because um, you belong somewhere else right now. Like, this is not what God has for you. And you need to go this way instead. And it's true. It was absolutely true.
And what Deanna was revealing to me through this whole time is that I needed to have a deeper relationship with the teaching. I needed to go deeper with God, really, ultimately. Because what it really revealed to me, because your twin flame is always going to reveal you, basically, when I look back, I realized she was revealing that, like, I was literally just depending on Deanna too much to lead and understand the teaching. Like, I had my relationship with it, but not nearly as deep as I needed it to be to have the truly equal partnership. Because honestly, now I don't really have, like, I'm much, now that I've gone deeper in the teaching, I can discipline, I can guide, I can say no, I can call things out a lot easier. At that time, that was not easy. It was like, oh, Deanna has this wild idea that there's nothing I can do about it, which is absolutely never true in your twin flame union. You choose as one, so you actually have all the power. So she was revealing to me where I needed to go deeper with the teaching, and I took the key as I took the invitation from God. God said, "Okay, it looks like you know things are not going so good. You just lost half your money, you lost your woman, and there's whatever." Like,
Deanna went cuckoo.
but God is like, what I really heard God saying is, this is your chance to prove the teaching works. And I literally, I will say the core, and it's remained the same. I dove into the teaching. That has been my core ever since, to regularly watch the teaching. Because what it
We were
does,
watching it regularly together before then.
but my relationship wasn't the same. This was me owning it. This was me owning it in a deeper way that I hadn't before. And I literally finally understood what it meant to attune yourself to the teaching. And what I can say is I experienced pretty much instant miracles, because the first miracle was initially I was open to what Deanna was saying, to exploring, leaving Wisconsin, oh God, doing all these things that she was suggesting. And I was like,
Yeah,
first,
I was like, go back to Michigan, go back to New Orleans, get out of Wisconsin. Wisconsin doesn't want you. I was mean. I was actually really mean. And that's why Dan's unconditional love actually meant even more to me at the time, because I was being really mean and pushing him away. And like,
and she was teaching me to be stronger, essentially. She was teaching me
but
to become a
like,
man.
that's why I look back at that and I'm like, wow, that's really deep unconditional love.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
we all deserve that. We can all offer that to others. We can all offer that to ourselves.
Yeah.
Um,
So I mean that basically, honestly, that's gonna sound crazy, but that actually became I mean this, one of the most powerfully positive, transformative things to happen in my life. Because to have a true relationship with your spiritual gurus and teaching um, is gold. Because then honestly, you become a powerful creator. I understood how to actually use the teachings to create anything I wanted. I started manifesting amazing sales. I started claiming Deanna in a deeper way and partnering with God. Like Deanna said, the teaching, it deepened my relationship with God. I deepened my relationship with using a pendulum because I had to make important decisions. So I was like,
Yep.
I had to learn how to talk to God and not rely on anybody else, but just me and God.
And it was God who told you to move to Madison?
God told me to move to Madison, to send you love letters, to watch the teaching every day, to trust that God was going to give me enough money to live my life.
God told you to talk to my mom.
Yes.
Because my mom had let me move in with her when she didn't want to.
And I literally.
So Dan helped my mom set a boundary and she kicked me out. Which was great because my mom and I are done living together. That doesn't need to happen anymore. I mean, unless, God can always, things can always change, but I've lived with her enough for one lifetime, and she would probably agree. And of course, I'll say that again, things could always change, but I needed to live in Madison, and when my mom kicked me out because of Dan, sneaky Dan.
Oh yeah, no,
Sneaky Dan talking to my mama.
No, here's the thing: you don't realize the teaching helps you know how powerful you are, and what God was saying is, literally, this the honest truth is, it's true for everyone. You have your twin flame when you truly claim them. That is absolutely the truth. And God was like, you need to claim them more. And like, just he kept showing me ways to go deeper. And he's like I was afraid to talk to her mom at the time. I was like, why are you afraid to talk to her? Deanna's doing crazy stuff, and all you gotta do is tell her about that crazy stuff, and then she needs to come home with you.
Yeah, and
she was like, "Oh yeah, you're right." Well,
I had been driving back and forth to Madison when I was living with my mom for that short period of time, and like when I got in the car to move in with Dan at the apartment he had gotten in Madison, just waiting there for me. He just made a little nest for me to join you, and when and but when I got in the car to drive to Madison with my stuff, I turned on the radio and it said, "Move to Madison, move to Madison, move to Madison," like 3 times in a row. And I was like, okay, God, I hear you.
But essentially,
but what I love about this story is that we got to wrap this up. But this was so fun to talk about.
Oh, we might have a part 2 to this. There's a lot to say here.
What I really want to point out.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm missing a tooth right now. So sometimes when I say things, it's coming out in a weird way because I'm literally missing a tooth right now.
Keep going because we don't have 2 minutes. I have something I really want to say too.
The tooth is gone. It's been extracted.
I'm just going to say it since you're saying it.
No.
So, don't be a twin flame pussy. I have to say it.
Can you say coward instead?
No, I want to say that.
No, because pussy is related to vagina, and that's like a feminist
thing. Don't be
a
twin flame coward. That's a huge twin flame.
Don't
lesson.
Be lame.
Don't be lame. Don't be a pushover.
Be a real.
I have lightning here.
Be a real person.
Get very clear what you want in life and go after it.
Just be human. What I want to say is, Dan being able to love me that deeply unconditionally came from years of investing in our relationship. I have loved him very deeply for years. I have invested so much into this relationship that what I had earned, I guess you could say, was when I kind of lost it and I was emotionally handicapped, spiritually handicapped, and kind of went on the crazy train. I had earned Dan's steadfastness and unconditional love and support. And it was such a rewarding experience for me to completely lose it and for him to be so with it that he moved exactly where God told him to. He did exactly what God told him to, which helped love and support me. He even loved my mom through some of her biggest blocks and upsets in mine and hers relationship. And he single-handedly moved our life forward to where it was going next, despite my falling backward a lot.
And so the main message, never give
and
up
invest,
no matter what it looks
invest in relationship. Invest in the relationship because that love is going to come back to you.
Yep. And invest in good information, the teachings of union work. It is the reason I have the beautiful things with my beautiful twin flame that I have today. So
I cannot believe we've been married for almost 2 full years. It feels like it's been like a day.
thank you so much for watching. We send you so much love, and we will see you next time. Bye bye.